Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. My name is Isabella, and this is my first presentation for my History of Humor class. Today, I want to talk about absurdism in Gen Z humor and its impact on marketing. And as Gen Z kind of steps into the majority and steps into adulthood, how can this impact advertising? What is our generation going to do with marketing and communication? And I think a really brilliant example of very early stages of this are the Brisk Canada ads. I don't know if anyone has seen these recently popping up on their For You page or the recommended, or just coming across the ads in general. But they're fantastic. Just a few examples I'm going to put on screen now. They're from February 6th, February 22nd, and then April 11th of this year, respectively. And this trend of new ads from Brisk really started to take root at the end of January of this year, and then more into February and into the later months. So this is fairly new. It's only the last about 6 months that Brisk has started to do this. In June of 2017, Duncan Southgate published an article titled "The Emergence of Generation Z and Its Impact in Advertising: Long-Term Implications for Media Planning and Creative Development" in the Journal of Advertising Research. Pretty much this article goes into the preferences for advertisements between the generations, mainly focusing on Gen Z and how their preferences differ from the other generations. And what they concluded is that Gen Z really prefers skippable ads, interactive ads, things that they have kind of control over. They also really appreciate a well-designed ad, good visual aesthetics, if there's good, like, catchy music in it, a music that fits the vibe of the advertisement per se. And they also concluded, and I'll include a quote here, that some researchers have identified humor as the primary creative attribute that prevents advertisement skipping for online video, and there is also evidence that humor can make advertisements more enjoyable, involving, and memorable. Shifting gears a little bit here, I want to talk about absurdism in Gen Z humor. Gen Z as a generation, we grew up with fairly unimpeded access to the entirety of the internet and social media. A lot of other factors involved there, but for our purposes, growing up with this social media, we also grew up to editing softwares. So a lot of us learned how to create videos or images extremely young and have been doing it for years. Part of our language, it was part of our online culture. So with this influx of supply, it really expedited a life cycle of a meme. Early 2000s, a meme or popular internet image could circulate and be funny for sometimes many months or a year. They became staples. Whereas when Gen Z stepped into the frame and we get into like the 2010s, the life cycle of a meme, really was down to like a month or so. And now with TikTok and, extremely short form content and this huge supply and demand, memes can come and go in less than a week, sometimes just a couple days. The fandom and the stardom of a meme is extremely fleeting. It becomes much more viral much quicker, but it also dies much quicker as well. You have this entire generation of people with an encyclopedia of knowledge and humor, and it's almost like we speak an entirely new language. It's trying to explain memes is extremely difficult because it's like trying to translate an ancient language with no real true translation. There are so many layers of nuance and context to these things that no description really gives it justice. And it would take like an entire council of Gen Z meme connoisseurs to like try and create a description as to all of the ways in which this one thing is funny. because each meme grows off of itself and branches off and intermingles with new things. It's like when a tree dies and a new tree grows out of it. Like, that new tree is always going to have parts of the old tree with it. It's just bizarre to try and actually explain why something is funny. I believe in like 2016, it wasn't too hard. It was like, haha, funny image of a frog. Now with TikTok, it's extremely difficult to try and explain these popular internet videos. And the complexity of it is hilarious because 80% of online humor is just brain rot. I don't have time to explain brain rot to you, but anyone who knows knows. And that is an entire video essay for another day of just brain rot humor. It's an issue for another day. And basically, all of this is really confirmed in the article that I found, Absurdism and Gen Z Humor, the effects of absurd content on perceived humor levels in Gen Z students, which was a fantastic survey of high school students, I believe back in 2019, to kind of gauge, the absurdity levels in memes, and if we find it funny or not. And the things that were more absurd were absolutely funnier to these high school students, which kind of confirms this online meme culture and growing up in it. When you have such an influx of supply, you have to rely on things being more and more absurd to catch your attention and to be funny. So absurdity is absolutely a pillar of Gen Z humor. So now we get to what's going on today. 2024, June of 2024, what is going on? And to look at that, you really have to look at these Brisk ads, because it shifted at the beginning of 2024 with those meme images that I showed earlier, and now we have this.
You've heard of ice, you've heard of tea, but have you heard of iced tea, Brisk iced tea? You're definitely thinking about, you definitely want a Brisk iced tea. You're feeling extremely thirsty for a Brisk iced tea. You just want a freaking, crisp iced tea.
I hope you enjoyed that ad, because, seeing that on my feed, genuine, just put me into shock. Just, like, I needed a minute after seeing that. Fantastic. So to try and explain why that is funny and popular, it is kind of a variant of this video.
Did you know? Did you know that when you did that pizza on cheese sprinkled cheese pizza you did? Because Joy Cheesy, it's spread cheese, spread you over pizza much as pizza over you spread, you on pizza cheese. Is there a better cheesy pizza experience?
Don't ask me what that is. I just know it exists because it's on my TikTok feed. And then that video there is also technically a variant of this popular TikTok video, which used the stitching feature quite well.
The best Chicago-style pizza.
Where's the cheese?
It's under the sauce.
There's no cheese on it.
It's under the sauce.
Like, I'm Italian and this is hurting me.
It's from Chicago.
But it's just sauce.
The cheese is under the sauce.
That's not enough cheese.
Cheese is under the sauce.
It's not enough. It's under the sauce.
So again, that is my best attempt at actually trying to explain why that's funny. Again, it takes an encyclopedia of knowledge to get it, and also don't use your brain that hard because it's just funny, but also incredibly complex. It's bizarre to try and explain these things. So my point to all of this is that using popular meme formats to engage with an audience is extremely effective in my eyes. when you see one of these ads on your feed, you don't actually realize it's an ad right away. I did not know. I liked these videos when they came across my feed because I didn't realize they were an ad right away. The absurdity of it is also multiplied by the fact that a company is posting a meme. Like, these memes are simultaneously ads for the product, but they're also actual memes. It's not like a half-hearted attempt at it. They're actually engaging in internet culture and creating memes. They're doing it extremely well. And the thing with online social media now, especially with things like TikTok, is that algorithms feed you media based on your interests and previous engagement, something that you like or share or favorite. They're going to take that information and show you more of that. So if a Gen Z person is engaging in memes online, the algorithm is going to look for similar content to feed them, as well as certain advertisements to show. They're going to try and show you advertisements, the things that you're more likely to buy. Even if a Gen Z person has never shown interest in a beverage like Brisk or anything even remotely related to it, they are more likely to see this ad simply because they engaged in meme content. The algorithm is going to show them a Brisk ad, not because it's advertising iced tea, but because of its content being a meme. And a Gen Z person is less likely to skip it and is actually more likely to engage with it because it's a meme. I even have mutuals now that follow Brisk Canada on Instagram because of the content that they post, because it's funny. Yes, it's selling you a drink, but they're also just really good memes. It's hilarious content, and the fact that it is a company posting it is even more absurd and even more funny. And the way that this impacts a Gen Z person is that when I go to a grocery store or to 7-Eleven, when I am standing in front of a wall of identical products, I am much more likely to pick a Brisk iced tea over other brands because I like their ads. And because of the iconography of the ads among Gen Z now, I am actually more likely to take a picture of the beverage and post it with a similar caption to what Brisk Canada is posting, because Gen Z likes to follow trends. So you basically end up giving them free marketing. Like, I'm extremely likely to take a picture with a Brisk product, post a similar caption, and tag Brisk Canada to engage in the absurdity of the meme, which is giving Brisk free marketing and free advertising. That's how effective these memes are. Instead of just skipping an ad and scrolling by it, people are buying the product, engaging with the product, and advertising it for free. That's insane. Like, you don't get stuff like that anymore. You usually have to pay people to advertise your product. It's almost like paying attention to your consumers and their interests is a good thing. And that's why these Brisk ads are so brilliant, because they speak directly to its intended consumers of young people. And it's almost like getting to know your consumers and taking them seriously works. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, taking a younger generation seriously and actually getting to know them so you can market towards them. I mean, it's extremely messed up, because it's also like you're getting to know them to sell stuff to them, to make money off of them. Like, I don't have time to get in all of that. But at least with these Brisk ads, you feel like at least they're trying. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to engage with you. The fact that they're an evil mega corporation, isn't so bad all of a sudden when they're posting memes. Like, you kind of learn to forgive. So my conclusion with all of this is that although I am never going to endorse propaganda and advertising, like, it's really not good, I just can't help but be proud of whoever is behind these ads. Like, in my heart, I am just happy knowing that one of us one of us Gen Z, like, we made it. Like, look, we're growing up and we're being awesome and we're being good at our jobs and we're being brilliant. And everyone who told us that we were just lazy and stupid can go do something else. You know? And I don't believe that all advertising in the future is going to be quite as extreme as these Brisk ads. I think Brisk is in a very particular situation where they're able to get away with this because they are marketing to young people, and they're just in a situation where they're really able to kind of, I guess, get away with advertising like this. And I just think it'll be really interesting to see how Gen Z humor, interests, and values kind of affect marketing, and they work their way into the world as, you know, Gen Z, as we grow up and step into the majority. So I think that Brisk is absolutely a catalyst for this new wave and this new generation stepping into these roles, and, you know, give us a little bit of freedom and a little bit of trust, a little bit of money, and we'll do something really cool because we're cool kids, right? Anyway, that has been my thoughts on the Brisk Canada ads and their influence on Gen Z humor, the absurdity of Gen Z humor, and how it impacts marketing and what we can do going forward. So I thank you all for listening. I hope you learned something new. And if you have any comments, ideas, questions, you know, anything else that you've seen, I didn't even get to talk about the NDP marketing and how Gen Z absurdity is working its way into political advertising. That is a entire another thing that I didn't really want to get into, and I just didn't have time to put it in such a small video. So yeah, if we can talk about that in the comments, I would absolutely love to. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope class goes well for everyone. Bye! Oh my god. Okay, thank god that's over now. Finally. Oh. Crack open open a cold brisk iced tea. Have you heard of it? Oh my god. Have you heard? Did you know that when tea make brisk tea? Did you know? Brisk iced tea